The Magic Academy, where aspiring students go to become mages. So mystical, so mysterious, so mind-numbingly boring. It's all lectures and lessons. Where's the practice, the experimentation? I want to cast the spells to make the peoples fall down. I want to adventure. As you can see here, I've completed the necessary courses to get my mage certification. Thank you so much. Yes, I will let the bakery know to save a pie for you. Yes, could I get one ticket for the midnight train, please? Going anywhere is fine, thanks. Great, thank you. Whew, today was eventful, but I can finally get some shut-eye. Huh? What was that? Monsters! No way I'll let you stop this train. Everyone, get to the front car. I'll hold them off. Alright, I think we've put some distance between us. Got a little bit of time to prepare. Gotta set everything out. Just put you down here. Go up here. Up here and a bit of damage. Alright, here goes nothing. Good. Looks like I can take out the Herald at the back here. Wait, no, I can't. Keep buffing everyone. Sorry, it's that. And still not working. Here we go. Yes, I can take them out. Alright. Keep the lower floor intact for now. The shield. Just snipe everything there. Okay, we have a healer. Be able to take them out. Have spell shield, so be any good to launch spells at them, but heal them up. We're holding so far. We're holding so far. Aha. The little imp think they could sneak past us, but we're gonna do a little extra money. Alright. Now this is where it starts popping off. Blade's gonna get more attack for all the times we've increased magic power on this floor. He's gonna become really powerful now. Hey, you know what? Use the slam. Yeah. Ow. Ow. Counts as a spell. Okay. Well, at least get the front guy down. Do a little dent. Hopefully the next floor will have what it takes to take him out. Alright. Get rid of that to get rid of the cost increase. buffing up our Avenger here. And give you the cycle staff. Alright, so you're gonna die. You're not much of a problem. Take out the Herald there to give everyone their abilities back. No one should probably heal you up, so let's do that. Alright. We're holding so far. We're holding so far. Another healer. You're going to fall. Alright. That's permafrost, so maybe I can hold on to that for now. How's about I just like snipe you a few times? Let's keep on buffing up our Avenger here. Hold on to Starstruck. This guy's gonna be very, very starstruck. Alright. Little breathing room. I think I can buff everyone up here. Just keep on giving you some valor. And alright, you're going down. You're going down. But I just cast spells on here anyway to increase conduit, and I think we'd swap these. So I'm not going to be able to keep up that card anyway. There's the leader. I think if I can take them out now, fend off the horde. Looks like I'll be alright, but we just rub in. Aha. I can only watch as their forces get whittled down to nothing. Entire front line has fallen. Get the leader with all you got. Whew. I think that's all of them. Is everyone okay? Good. Hey, looks like we're close to town. I'm just gonna get off here if you don't mind. There's the Adventurers Guild. Finally, it's time to start. Huh? Hey? What's this? Could it possibly be? Hello! Yes, it's me. It's the new me. Welcome, everyone. I hope I didn't keep you waiting for too long. As you can see, I had a few setbacks there, and but against all odds, I have made it here. I have made it to the debut, right? Better late than never, as they always say, right? Hello, yes, hello to everyone. Hope you all are doing well today. I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing as well as I can be anyway. Yes, if this is your first time here, I am Azure Gale. I am a cross-dressing card mage, wandering Windmaster. I like video games, especially I like the roguelike, tabletop-esque indies, and things like that. I wish I had more time to prepare a presentation, but all I got are like some note cards and some slides so far. So what do you say we go over here, right? We go and just talk a little bit more about myself here. Yeah. Ha. So this is me right here, right? This is the adventurers card I got so far. Right, see here. My name is Azure Gale. My birthday is August 5th. On an unrelated note, did you know that August 5th is also the release date of Magic the Gathering's first set alpha? Yeah, crazy coincidence, don't you think? And my species here is human. Yep, I'm just a guy, right? Just a dude in a world full of cat folk and dog folk, fox folk, all sorts of animal folk, and elves and dwarves and what have ya. I'm about as plain as they can get. Being said, my gender is male, so yeah, that's exactly implying what you think it is. Oh, nuts. What? Okay. I could have sworn I had this positioning working. Oh my god. My immersion. Alright. Wait, no. I think... pressed the wrong keys, I think. Hold on. There we go. Haha. Alright, yeah. Yes, this is exactly what you think it means. Yes. I am a femboy. Haha. That's right. That's like the way I look, right, and the way I dress and everything. I'm 100% male. My class also is a mage. I cast the spells. I spent several years at the academy, kind of fast-tracking my way and learning all the courses and picking up whatever skills I can, and finally managed to come out on ready to go, right? You can take a peep of some of my skills here too, right? On top is spell card proficiency, because that's the weapon I wield, right? I use spell cards. Some other mages might like staves, some might like wands, others use tomes, and even a few might use like really complex mechanical floating contraptions, but I like the good old cards, right? It lets me stock a wide variety of spells and lets me fire them off as I need it. Sure, there's like a bit of a dexterity component, but hey, it's something you can get accustomed to, right? You can see here I've also got proficiencies in several types of magic, right? Obviously, wind magic is my forte. That's what I'm best at. It's kind of my namesake, so it'd be weird if I wasn't, right? But apart from that, I also know a bit of water magic, a bit of ice magic, a bit of lightning magic. So I guess you could say I can bring a good storm, right? I think sorts of good storms out there, right? I'm the storm that is approaching, provoking, and all that good stuff. But it's not all offensive skills, right? You gotta have some way to kind of enhance yourself on the downtime, right? While you're not out there questing and taking care of monsters and what have you. So I picked up some skill in spellcraft and runecraft. A little bit of enchanting and inscription too, right? Because you always need to be updating your arsenal, make sure you're on the top of your game and all that, right? As for my stats... Oh no. What happened? Where am I? Oh, hey, here I am. Ah, okay. Yes, you can also see my stat matrix all the way over here on the left side, right? My strength is perhaps not the best, but then again, I'm a magic user, so you don't expect me to go out there and, like, go punch people in the face, right? That's like a last resort kind of deal. As I said before, you need a little bit of dexterity to be able to draw the right spell cards you need, so I practiced that a little bit. My constitution is a bit better than much. I can perhaps take a few hits, take a few saves here and there, and unfortunately Chatbox is covering these bottom two stats down here, but they are wisdom and intelligence. And as you might expect from someone who practices the magic, I'm pretty good at that. My scores are pretty high there. And as for my charisma, let's just say I couldn't woo a sack of potatoes even if I tried. You want a social situation handled? Don't come to me. Luck? It's like up and down, right? I get like the occasional burst of super luck, but then I just completely tank the rest of the time. So I think that averages out to below average, right? But yeah, that's the quick overview of me, right? That's what you can expect if you ever decide to take me on out there adventuring and stuff. But why don't we get to know each other a little better? I do have some other papers filled out here with a couple of other things about myself, right? Like you can see here my likes, right? I got a lot of things I like, right? A lot of things I enjoy here, like games, right? Like me and games and all sorts of games, right? I mentioned it at the top, but I do enjoy roguelikes a lot. There's something about it, right? It's like a self-contained self-improvement arc that maybe is in bite-sized pieces, you know? Like, it could be from 20 minutes to an hour or two, but you're always gonna get yourself a full experience one way or another, right? And amongst the roguelite types, I really like deck builders, you know? Probably comes as no surprise. I like putting cards together and building cool engines and making cool stuff pop off. On the other end of the spectrum, I do like action games. Sometimes you just want to get out there and, you know, press button and see character immediately do stuff, you know. I like the Legends of Zeldas and the character action games and all that good stuff. I guess on the similar vein, adventure is a pretty good one too, and that kind of encompasses all kinds of adventures, right? Like the action adventures and the point and click adventures, right? Anything that kind of lets you explore the world and take it in and interact with the quirky locals and stuff like that, right? Platformers, another favorite genre of mine. I kind of grew up with that, right? I started with Sonic the Hedgehog. I branched out into other games like Spyro and Crash and Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter, and you know, just kept on expanding from there, right? Just kept on going onwards and upwards like that. I do enjoy a good first-person shooter, third-person shooter game as well, because sometimes it's really satisfying to just, like, line up those headshots, you know? Games like the Killing Floors and the Dooms and things like that. And we're gonna completely swing around again. I also like RPGs, because it's great to build up a group of heroes to go take on the ultimate evil. And probably comes as no surprise that I really like any sort of fantasy flavor RPG. I don't know, it's just something about the aesthetic and the sort of the swords and sorcery setting of everything that I really dig there. Also, I like racing games. we're just doing a lot of 180s today, right? We're just doing a lot of 180s, but yeah. It's a white knuckle excitement, you know? Just driving down the road, trying to overtake your opponents, and, you know, depending on the game, maybe you can take care of them even more so with a variety of armaments, or, you know, car foo or whatever may be the case. I like all sorts of racing games, you know? You like the arcadey ones, like some Need for Speeds and Burnout, and the kart racers like Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, and Mario Kart, and I actually got into sim racing as well. So yeah, if you want, I could play Forza Motorsport. That's pretty fun. I can do a session or two every now and then. Another one I like, puzzle games, right? Sometimes you just want a little brain bender. You want to kind of stare at this board full of pieces and stuff and figure out how to interact with it in order to approach the intended solution. And it's kind of fun, just like figuring out the mechanics and how to utilize them to your advantage and everything, right? And last on the list, cozy games. This is one that I've perhaps taken into more recently, right? Something about being able to just wind down with like a TCG card shop sim or a Power Watch simulator. Really hits right, you know? It's even better if you can like co-op with other people and can all just like vibe to the game and everything, right? As for specific games, I got a lot of them. Right, this is by no means a comprehensive list. I only have so much room on this piece of paper to list stuff, but some of the stuff that popped into mind, Slay the Spire, right? Kind of the game that kicked off the whole trend of deck builders, and still does a pretty bang-up job of it. I went back to it recently, and man, it holds up, right? It absolutely holds up. And another deck builder that I really enjoy is Monster Train, because even amongst deck builders out there, it manages to stand out in a few unique ways, right? Just and the idea of being able to ride on a train and kick intruders out, it's pretty satisfying, right? Just tell everyone else no ticket, and you're good to go, right? And then another roguelite that I absolutely adore, 30XX. If you all remember Mega Man X, this is pretty much like a roguelite version of that, and boy howdy do they absolutely nail it, from the feel of the platforming, to the art style, to the music. There's so much good stuff I can say about that. Next is Ratchet and Clank. I like a lot of Ratchet and Clank games, right? Very few Ratchet and Clank games I don't like. In fact, I don't think there's like one I don't like, right? Even the ones that I probably would put the lowest on the list, I would still say are like good. You know, they're not gonna blow you away, but you're gonna be satisfied with them. Amongst the games in the series, I'd say maybe Up Your Arsenal is like my favorite, because I think it just like nails the humor and the pacing of everything. The only criticism I would have is that the game is too short, but better to be left wanting than to be left completely burnt out, right? Speaking of burnout, Burnout 3, probably my most favorite racing game ever. Like, holy shit. I don't think there's a racing game out there that has managed to kind of match the excitement and sense of speed that Burnout 3 delivers. I think it gets like the ratio of thrills and combat to racing like just right, you know? Sure, you gotta like go knock the cars around, but being able to drive well is also a consideration, and it just all comes together so well. After that, Forza Horizon. I played. I started with the series like with Forza Horizon 1. And I think this was because they had like the limited edition on sale. And I was like, oh wow, this is neat. You know, just open world driving festival game. This is kind of funny, right? Because I think Horizon Festival was like ostensibly supposed to be a music festival, but you know, it's Forza, so that's not going to be the side you concentrate on. Still great, still great. I've played every single game in the series. Next is Sonic and All-Stars. That's the shortened version. I wanted to put Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. That was like a bit long amongst like the non-Mario Kart kart racer games. This is probably up there with one of my favorites. Like it's got the sense of speed right. It's got like a great cast of characters. The track selection is wonderful. The weapon selection is great. It doesn't feel like overly luck-based. Even the blue shell equivalent can be mitigated if you're skilled enough at driving. Have I mentioned the music? The music is an absolute bop. But seriously, just like listen to the Ocean View track from Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, and you'll hear what I mean. After that, we're switching gears a bit. We're gonna tap into some other genres here. Another one of my favorite games, The World Ends With You, but I've shortened it to 2E here. But it's a game that kind of had a profound impact on me. Because contrary to what the title might sound, The World Ends With You is supposed to kind of signify that your social sphere kind of ends where you want it to, right? Your outreach only goes as far as you want it, right? So, if you want to reach out more, then reach out more. I know that sounds tautological, but I think it's like something kid me kind of needed to hear, and I have always appreciated it for that. Another RPG I like, Persona 4. I think amongst the Persona games, that's probably my favorite because I like the cast of characters, and the mechanics of everything doesn't feel too overly punishing. And there's certainly stuff that could be better, but I think overall it was a pretty fun time. And then after Persona 4, it's Doom 2016, the surprise of that year. Like, remember the previews of it when they were covering the multiplayer, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, it seems fine, doesn't seem outstanding." It's from unfathomable reason they didn't let anyone preview the campaign. I feel like if they did, people would be a lot more excited for it. It certainly manages to nail everything that you want from Doom, and gets the feel and everything right, and the plot is like pretty great too. It's just a fun time all the way through. Excuse me. After that, Hitman 2016, kind of like another surprise of that year, and similar to Doom and how it felt like a return to form, whereas like previous Hitman games seem to kind of go into a shootery direction. Hitman 2016 kind of brings it back, right? You got your big ol' assassination sandbox, and you figure out the puzzle to reach your target. And they give you multiple levels of guidance too, right? You want to go for a mission story that will take you like 95% of the way there, go right ahead. You just want to explore the map to figure out a path yourself, or just like create the jankiest assassination possible. You're totally good for that too. It's great, and the way that just encourages you to kind of replay maps is really awesome. Fortunately, Chatbox is covering the last few bits here, but there are two more games on the list. One of them is Vampire Survivors, the game that kind of started the whole horde survival trend, and I'd say still does a pretty bang-up job with it. It's simple yet effective, right? It's the kind of game you can just jump in and space out for like 30 minutes as you watch everything around you fall and number just like go way up. It's great, and there's like so many carrots on the stick to go for now, right? Even if you don't get any of the DLC, like through post-launch updates alone, you got a lot. You got so much to do. It's crazy. And the game that's being covered up by the chat box, TCG Card Shop Simulator, right? I mentioned I got into cozy games recently, and this is the one I kind of got the most into. I guess just running a tabletop store sounds pretty rad, because I totally wouldn't be able to run one in real life. It's a good thing business isn't a stat, because I'd probably be like in the negatives there. Alright, we have another page here on the right. that covers shows and movies and anime and manga. So shows and movies is like a bit of a short list. I have to admit, since I've started staking out on my own, I've watched a lot less live-action TV, and my movie watching is usually limited to like whatever my cousin decides to show me. But from what I have watched, my favorite shows and movies include Spaceballs. Perhaps my favorite comedy movie out there still holds up super well. I'd say, you know, some of the humor may not have aged too well, but some of it has aged gracefully, right? Like, just imagine how many people still say something to the lines of like, I am your father's brother's cousin's uncle's nephew's former roommate, or like, Spaceballs, the flamethrower, kids love it. Or, yeah, we combed the desert and we ain't found shit, you know? It just holds up. Another movie series I like, Naked Gun, sort of the same reasons as Spaceball does. It's just so delightfully absurd and silly. You can't help but just enjoy it. I have to admit, I have not watched the new movie yet, but I've heard it's pretty good. Oh, maybe I'll watch it soon. After that, Hot Shots. It's also a parody movie, and it's crazy, right? Like the two films that are in this series are very, very different. The first, Hot Shots, is like a parody of the dogfighting films like Top Gun, and then Hot Shots Part 2 is just parodies like the war action movies like Rambo and stuff. But they both are pretty good for what they are. And since we're getting like Spaceballs 2 sometime in the future, and we got like a new Naked Gun, I feel like it's only a matter of time, right? Someone's gotta make a new entry in the Hot Shots series, right? It's just gonna happen, right? And amongst the TV shows, I have to admit, it's like I don't usually go for like the dramas and sitcoms and what have you, right? I kind of actually prefer the sort of I guess you could call it educational programming, because you do learn stuff, right? Bill Nye is literally educational programming. They show it in classrooms. I remember being obsessed with this show as a kid. Anytime the show came on in the afternoon, I was like, yeah, sit me down. I'll watch 30 minutes of Bill Nye describing whatever scientific concept he decides to describe that day. On similar lines, How It's Made. This is a program where it's exactly what you think it is, right? They'll tell you how something is made, and the best part is that the topics they cover are very broad. You know, for one segment they could be covering like garage door openers, and then another segment they could be covering fruitcake, and then another segment they're covering like cars. Seriously, it's a super applicable show, and there's just a lot of room to kind of, you know, explore whatever the heck you might be curious about, seeing how it's made, right? Also, Good Eats. It's kind of like the food version of Bill Nye. Also, Alton Brown's a fantastic host, hilarious guy. It's a shame that there aren't any more shows in this series, but I heard they did try to revive it, but, well, sometimes things don't work out, right? Also, Mythbusters. There was a period in the middle where they felt like they really hit their stride, right? When they got the build team, and Jamie and Adam kind of were just like firing off on all cylinders, and they were covering all the cool urban legends and stuff. I suppose your mileage may vary on whether you're fine with the direction they took of just like covering, oh, does this movie stunt actually happen in real life? But, you know, the well is only so deep, right? They certainly gave it their all till the end. Also, this might not surprise you, but I also enjoy magic shows. Something about like watching someone kind of just like do seemingly impossible feats using only the things on the stage. It's a marvel, right? It's pretty cool, you know. the way they kind of just use like maybe a little bit of a misdirection, a little bit of distraction, and maybe a specialized technique here or there to really keep you guessing about what's gonna happen. It's fun. Anime and manga. This is a fairly long list, although if you've read over it, you can probably kind of glean like what kind of series that I usually get into. Top favorite, probably for a bit, Konosuba. I think it's a series that manages to sort of nail like a sense of madcap humor and just like everyone just being really crazy and funny. And of course it's a fantasy setting too, so it's like really enjoyable that way. Also along that line, Princess Connect, because I believe the people who worked on the Konosuba anime also worked on Princess Connect, and Princess Connect was also like similarly funny and also very cute, so that was cool. And Endro kind of riffs on some RPG conventions and also features like a card magic system, so that's pretty cool. Azumanga Daioh, that is kind of the granddaddy of slice of life, super relaxing shows, right? Just I think it manages to nail that mix well too of like surreal humor, over the top antics, and just like really heartwarming moments, you know. And when they finally ended this series in the most natural way possible, I like, you wish you had more time, but, you know, as the old saying goes, all good things must come to an end, right? Also on this list, K-On! The music was quite the bop, and seeing the antics of the Light Music Club, super enjoyable. Also, sorry, I'm not quite sure I was going there, but after that, Non-Biori. Amongst like the super relaxing shows, this might be my favorite super relaxing show. Just watching the exploits of like 4 kids out in the countryside and just like living life in the slow lane. They still managed to pull off a touching moment here and there, right? Who remembers that part where Renge finds a friend for the summer, right? Has the time of her life. And then one day she goes over to the house, and then the parent comes and is like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, your friend had to go back to the city to resume school, but thanks for playing with her every day." And then you just like sit there for several uncomfortable minutes as the camera just slowly zooms in onto her face. And it finally just like hits her all at once. And she starts crying. You're like, ah, you knew it was coming, but it's like, it's still not ready for it. But yeah, great show, fun times. Monthly Girls Nozuki-kun. Good riff on shoujo manga scene. Silly, over-the-top humor. Still disappointed that the anime only has 1 season. Like, I know it's been like 10 years, but surely there's enough material for a season 2. Come on. We can get that, right? I mean, other shows have had season 2s after a long while. Maybe this one can too, right? Is the Order a Rabbit? I think, at least for me, kind of hits that divide between cuteness and hilarity pretty well. Right, there's some parts that just had me like rolling on the floor. I had to pause the stream for a bit so that I could like finish laughing before I resumed. It's pretty fun. Kanira Mosaic, kind of similar lines, although this one like is a bit more along the lines of cute and funny. Blend S, another hilarious show, and one that I especially like for one reason. It starts with Hidari and ends with Kanzuki. I think every slice of life show could benefit from having a femboy, right? Blend S certainly benefited, and that's another show I hope gets a season 2 because I can't Imagine only having 3 episodes of Hidari. I could read the manga, but I want to see Hidari in motion. Kaguya-sama, Love is War. Amongst all the romantic comedies, I think this one had a really fun premise about the 2 student council heads who like each other, but they're too proud to admit it, so they keep on trying to manipulate the situation so that the other will confess first. And then they introduce like a whole extended cast, and they introduce their stories as well, and it just all manages to keep things fresh and fun. Although they do also end that, thankfully, because, you know, shows like those can only go for so long before you're like, just kiss already or something, right? Spy Family, another series that has like a silly premise but manages to make it work. The anime has a few seasons, and I hope it gets some more. Senpai is an Otoko no Ko, a rare premise in the scene of manga and anime, in which a series has a femboy character as like one of the lead roles, and also treats his circumstances with a great degree of respect. And the fact that he likes cross-dressing is not treated like a punchline at all. In fact, they actually kind of might hit home, you know, depending on your own circumstances. So I like it. It's a good series. I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. That's the full title. This one's just like a really cozy title. It's in an isekai series, very much along those lines of an office worker who dies of overwork, wakes up in a new world and decides to just take life in the super slow lane. Also, because it's an isekai, she manages to find her way to incredible amounts of power, even if that was also through the slow lane. But it's fun, right? Sometimes you just want a good palate cleanser. I think that one does it pretty well. I think I Turned My Childhood Friend into a Girl, the full title. Another series that kind of puts a cross-dresser in a lead role and treats him with a degree of respect. Once again, not just a punchline. And seeing the relationship between Hira and Mido just blossom. It's been real nice. And then finally, Crossplay Love, Otaku Cross Punk, the final entry on the list. Just another series. This was actually pretty funny because both of the main characters here are cross-dressing, but they don't know that the other one is a guy. So they just like keep on, you know, going to the place where they work while cross-dressing, and just get to see all sorts of shenanigans. Kind of branch out from there. It's a fun time. Okay, let me pull out a couple of more sheets here. Ooh, I should probably move back. Oh, not off the screen. Haha! I just had to duck under the table a little bit. But yeah, a couple other of my interests here. Music. I'm pretty open to like listening to whatever, right? I don't have like specific favorite artist or band apart from maybe Weird Al, because just no one who does parodies quite like Weird Al does. The guy's like a class act. Man, I hope he can keep doing what he's doing for as long as he can, because he puts out some good stuff when he does. But yeah, for the most part, when it comes to music, I'll usually listen to a song, and if I like the song, I'll listen to it on repeat a bunch of times. But amongst them, if like the song comes from a genre of like rock or punk or metal or techno, I'll probably be more likely to listen to it. Anything that has like a guitar part, it's not listed on here, but I also like dramatic themes, right? Something with like a chorus or an orchestra that just makes me feel like the stakes have suddenly gone sky high. Yeah, I'll listen to that stuff. Feed it right into my ears. Speaking of feeding, I also have quite a few favorite foods. Amongst the top, Reese's peanut butter cups. Chocolate and peanut butter combo, they managed to pull it together pretty well. And some of their other Reese's products are good too, right? I like a good Reese's Pieces, and if you want to like add like little Reese's bits to like a milkshake or something, or sundae, you know, put on a cake, yeah, give it to me, right? Feed it right into me. The others are like general categories of food for the most part. If you give me any kind of fruit or pasta, if it's like chicken on it especially, I really like that. Salads, I can usually go for a good salad, dressing or without dressing, but if you do include dressing, I usually like Thousand Island or raspberry vinaigrette. Hamburgers, I probably comes as no surprise to you that I am American, so I guess liking hamburgers is just part and parcel. I do like a lot of variety of hamburgers, right? I can go with a good old plain hamburger, but if you want to throw cheese and bacon on there, I'm up for that too. If you want to throw some avocado or eggs or like pulled pork or like a mushroom or things like that, yeah, I'll consume that as well. Yeah. Also on the list, pizza. Forget where I heard it, but you know, a lot of times the pizzas are pretty good, right? You're rarely gonna find a pizza that you don't like or tastes awful. Personally, I like a meat lover's pizza, right? Give me a good old sausage, pepperoni. Third meat can vary, but I usually like bacon or ham or hamburger, right? Also along that line, chicken. I guess I mentioned that on top with pasta, but that covers a lot of chicken types, you know? Chicken that you might find with other dishes, or like fried chicken, or chicken sandwiches, or chicken nuggets, or chicken tenders, or like chicken spaghetti, or chicken salad, or did I mention chicken fingers? Yeah, I like a good amount of chicken. I don't know, the last part is covered up by the chat box, but it basically says cake, cookies, and pastries. Give me some confections. Give me that baked stuff. I will eat it right up. I didn't list donuts on there, but I really like donuts too. Give me good jelly or jam-filled donut, especially if it's strawberry flavored. I will wolf it right down. That's like my breakfast of choice right there. And then we have dislikes, which admittedly is not that large of a list, right? I'm not the biggest fan of horror games. That also extends to, like, say, unexpected horror moments in other games, or just jump scares in general. I mean, I'll take it, but I'd rather not if I don't have to. And onions, right? It's not. I guess it is a dislike, but it's like a really mild dislike. I like if I have an onion in a hamburger, or it's like part of a dish or something, I'll eat it, right? But I don't know, so something about the taste just doesn't sit well with me. And finally, pants. What was the deal with pants? Like, just so they just like ride up on you, you know? They feel restrictive. They feel like they choke your legs out. It's hard to move around in them. Like, why wear pants when you can say wear a skirt or a dress, you know, ease of movement, and all that good stuff, right? Well, I guess if you like pants, well, you do you, but if I can avoid wearing pants, I will very gladly do so. And then we'll get to the next part of the papers here. I guess listing a few of my aspirations. Got a list of goals here, right? First goal is to reach 400 followers on Twitch. We got a little ways to go there, but a few months to get there. And along those lines, also 500 subscribers on YouTube. I'm surprised, right? Because for the most part, I have like 2 channels, right? One for VODs and one for just like silly videos, and I guess people like that stuff, but it's pretty cool. And another goal of mine is to do other streams, like model building. Because for the most part, I have been streaming for like a little over 3 years now, but all I've really done are like video game streams. Hey, they're fun, right? But I want to try branching out. I want to try doing some of the other stuff that I see other VTubers doing, like hand cam streams that involve like cooking or model building or sewing or playing casino games or things like that. So the other goals are a bit more of a pie in the sky kind of deal. I want to be featured in a board or a card game. Yeah. Like, I don't know, it would be fun to cameo in that kind of stuff, right? And then finally, I want to be able to collab with a lot of VTubers and streamers, right? So I want to start reaching out there now that I got my live 2D model. And you know what I realized? I think I missed a section in the previous thing. Can I go back? Yeah, because I missed this part here, right? I missed my hobbies. Like, I do other things rather than play video games, watch shows, and that stuff. I do go out and touch grass, as some people may say it. Right? I have a group of friends that I occasionally get together with and play some tabletop games. It's fun, right? And the nice thing about tabletop games is that you can like have a bit of a casual experience, right? Since you know, just no rigidity like a video game might have. If you know, if you want to fudge a detail here or there to make things more dramatic, you totally can. And if you want to like throw in some house rules, you could totally do that too, right? It's like the fun part about tabletop games; they're like super moddable, right? And I also like programming. You know, I grew up liking making applications, putting together games, and I like to just like mess with that kind of stuff on the side. Yeah, pretty good stuff. And then apart from that, I also like building Lego sets. Right, that's another sort of zen moment, right? Just being able to kick back, relax, and watch a model come together brick by brick. And finally, going on walks, right? I guess that's the real grass-touching part. I'm actually going out on walks, and sometimes I like to go out on long walks on the beach, right? Fun stuff. For tabletop games, I like... it's a good mix of them, right? I like Catan. It's a pretty good casual sort of resource management game if you want to break something out. I especially like the Cities and Nights expansion because it does add a little bit of depth and strategy to it, so that's pretty cool. And another one I like is Dominion. It's a really fun deck builder kind of game, and with so many expansions out there, rarely are you going to have a game that plays out the same way twice, right? For even more casual time, I like Carcassonne. That's the kind of game you can break out with a crowd that maybe doesn't normally play board games, because it's very visually intuitive, you know? Like, most people will know, yeah, you connect roads together, you connect rivers together, you can connect fields together. It kind of works in that regard, so that's pretty cool. Alright, let's move on here. Alright, we can cover a few more for more aspects about myself. My Oshi mark, right? The little emojis that are gonna be beside my name, and if you wanna say you're a fan of me, you can use these two. You have the playing card, the Joker card. I kind of just use it as like a card, and then the wizard, right? Because I'm a mage, and you know, it goes together. You know, card mage, right? That's who I am. As for my tags, if you want to just you know, tag something about me in general, and just do hashtag Azure Gale. And if you want to talk about me going live, you can use the tag Azure Gone Live. And if you want to maybe tag some art, you can use Azure Gallery. And if you want to tag a clip, you can use Azure Glimpse. And if you want to tag a meme, you can go with Azure Giggle. Now, fan name. That's kind of want to name the overall group of fans the Gale Force, because I kind of like the pun, you know, like Gale Force Wind, but you're also like the contingent of fans of Azure Gale. That being said, I am open to like to names for like the individuals for the fan base, right? So collectively, yeah, I'll call you the Gale Force, but what do you want to be called individually? We don't have to go over that now, right? We can perhaps let that one sit. We can think about it for a bit, and maybe we'll come back to it in another stream, right? Alright. I think that covers all the information I wanted to go over, so finally we have credits! Several, not several, but a lot of people, right? A lot of people helped to kind of make this happen, put it together, and I kind of ran out of time putting this stuff up, so once this stream is over, I'm gonna put them up. But first and foremost, the people who brought this model to life, the artist Eru, and the one who did the model rigging Zero. Together, they have brought motion, they have brought an image to this character. I would not be here if it were not for the both of them, and for that I am extremely, extremely grateful. And for the people who contributed some other aspects of this stream. The one who did the screens, the overlays, and the panels, right? The chat screen, and this little overlay that you're seeing here, and the starting screen was all put together by Delicia Rin. They also did panels for like the Twitch page, right in the About section. I haven't put those up yet, but again, I'll get to that. You may have noticed, like, who drew the art, right? Who drew that art in the starting video? That happens to be one Rem Hydragrove. Seriously, it looks really cool, doesn't it, right? Like me casting a card about ready to start kicking your butt with whatever spell I got in hand. You better watch out, right? As for this background music you're hearing right now, this little jaunty fantasy tavern piece done by Raura Music. They did a pretty good job, right? It certainly sounds like something you could hear in like a tavern, you know, after a long day of adventuring. You just go there for a bit of drinks and merriment and just like whatever the band happens to be playing at the moment. And the badge icons, that I think it's supposed to say like subscriber badges, but I'll put those up. Again, I'll put everything up after the stream, but those were done by Mara Mizu. They did a pretty good job of it. I think you'll enjoy seeing them when they come up. And then you have more credits. Oh god, it's covered up. Okay. I'm certainly not going to cover the credits up. We're just going to... Oh, no. Hold on. Wait, where is it? Just need to find... Okay. There. Alright. Please don't mind what's behind the curtain. The people who did the offline art, Dorami art, right? Can't see it right now, but once the stream goes offline, you'll see this like cool manga panel style illustration of me like doing a cool pose and everything. Yeah, they're the ones who drew that, and it looks really sweet. As for the emotes, a lot of people, I got a lot of people commissioned to do emotes, so you can see the specific credits in, well, the credits in the About section. Those are up now, but overall it's like Jessica Tuber, Albert Owo, Apple Pie 305, PrintY21, 88 IDN, and Rin all contributed an emote, right? An emote or several. So they're pretty cool folks, right? Okay, let me slide this back. All right, I think that's everything I wanted to cover as for my overviews and everything. But you might be wondering, well, what comes after this, right? Where do we go from here? Ta-da! It's my first new schedule design, and I forgot to put this on the credits, but Delicia Rin also worked on this, and looks pretty slick, doesn't it? Right. Here's my schedule for the first week of my new VTuber arc. Right, Monday, I'm gonna sleep. I've gotta confess to you, I stayed up all night, just like getting everything ready, and then I'm kind of like running with like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to patch all the leaks this morning and afternoon. So I'm probably gonna crash like shortly after things wrap up here. But on Tuesday, right, we're gonna get things rolling. We're gonna play some Monster Train 2. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I just had like an interest to play it. I don't know if you might have seen it somewhere, but it's a pretty cool game, and I'd be willing to do a few runs on stream, right? And on Wednesday, we're gonna check out Revolt. This is like a really old game, actually. It's like a RC kart racer kind of game. But we'll take a quick look at that. A little behind the scenes mention. I wanted to play Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 first, but there happens to be one certain Sonic Racing Cross Worlds coming out this week that I do want to cover, so I figured I'd just like do a one-off, right? We'll check out Revolt real quick, and then I'm gonna dive right into Cross Worlds the week after. So look forward to that. Thursday, it's gonna be another day off. 2 days and streaming in a row. I'll probably need a little sleep. Then on Friday, we're gonna start Lost in Random. There's a bit of like a character action game, a bit of a dice theme to it. I've been wanting to jump into this for a bit. I've been holding off because I knew it'd be thematically appropriate with what I'm doing. And then Saturday is going to be another off day because I like having at least one weekend day to myself. And then on Sunday, we're going to do Inscription, and that's actually going to be like a continuation because we're actually going to play Inscription like after I finish my debut. But if you've been here long enough, you'll notice that like the games I do have like a pretty consistent kind of theme to them. So Tuesday is actually a newer thing, but that's not going to be a stream that I'm not going to stream like every Tuesday. It'll probably like something every now and then, but we'll mostly like maybe check out like run-based games or one-off games or short games like that, right? You'll probably see like a roguelite or another session-based game or like something cozy, but that's what that slot's for. And then Wednesday is the day I usually play a car or like a driving or a race game, because I kind of like that genre, something thrilling about just like having like a speed duel that's just really fun. And if you're worried that it's just going to be like all Forzas and Need for Speed, worry not. As you can see, right, I'm playing Revolt this week, and other games I've played on Wednesdays include Garfield Kart, Redout, and What the Car. So it's a pretty wide pool to reach for here. Friday is usually when I play like a bigger game or a longer game, right? This is the one where we'll like just get really invested in it and just spend a few streams playing it. I just recently finished playing Clair Obscure Expedition 33 on Fridays, and the game is fantastic. I'm sure that probably needs no introduction, but yeah, check it out, right? And then Sunday is going to be like along the similar lines of Tuesday, where I'll probably play like a session-based game or a short game, Or it could be like a short playthrough too, right? Like something like Inscription, right? Or depending on circumstances, I might play a longer game as well. You know, it's a bit of a wild card, you know. Now, with all that aside, I do have one more set of folks to thank, and that's all of you in chat, all the viewers and the lurkers who have decided to come here and check out my debut. Thank you all. I hope you enjoyed that, you had fun with that, and that's all the notes I've written down. That being said, there is one more thing I wanted to do, right? I feel like because it's a bit of sorry, still getting used to this. Okay, yeah, it's a bit of a customary thing, but you know, we gotta do a bit of a model overview. You know, you gotta check out the fit, right? See what I've been waiting to show off for like a good long while. So why don't we just like start at the bottom here, right? Look, check it out, right? Some boots, good old boots, right? Calf-length boots. Pretty good for traveling, you know, when you need to go through a bit of a thicker underbrush. It'll help protect your legs and stuff, and it can look pretty stylish too, you know. It's a win-win, right? Go up a little bit, and you can see I have a bit more of leg wear here, right? You know, gotta have some other leg coverings, right? You know, you need to be able to help regulate your temperature, but you know, you don't want to get too sweaty because when you're out traveling, getting like icky and you know, getting infected, that's no fun. So I always like to go for a good pair of thigh-high socks. You know, gets you the good coverage and also affords you a bit of freedom of movement and a bit of comfort. You know, it's all good stuff. And you can see in the middle here, this is my traveling gear, right? I got myself my shoulder bag that contains some important things like maps and play mats and scrolls, parchments, all that. And then you can see over here on the other side is like the belt and various things kind of attached to it, right? Because sometimes you might need some stuff on hand, you know? You're in the middle of combat, you don't be rifling through your bag for that one component you need, so I keep all my most useful things here, you know? You got a little pouch for the cards, a little bag for some dice, another bag for meeples, and a little strap to hold a tome on there. What kind of tome is it? Well, it's like a little tome of everything, right? It'll tell you about the wildlife. It'll tell you about the world we're in. It'll tell you the rules of whatever game you might need it to. It's a pretty good book of everything, right? Can go up a little further here, right? You can see my main outfit, right? It's my Magic Academy uniform. I figured it like works pretty well as an adventuring uniform too, right? Like, I don't know, you can go out kind of looking cool and looking stylish and comfy and stuff too. And the clothes are enchanted too. It helps you know, channel your mana, enhances your magic ability a little bit, so it's worth keeping on, right? And then go up a little further, right? You got the ribbon as well. It's nice shaky ribbon. It's got the jiggle on it. It's pretty cool, right? And yeah, you can see my hat and my face and my hairstyle. I'd admit, when I was younger, I liked longer hairstyles a lot, but as I've grown, I'm starting to appreciate short hairstyles, and especially like the short hairstyles that still have like some sort of long element to them, right? Like a side lock or something like that. I don't know, something about that contrast I just really like, and I don't know, it might be obvious. Yeah. But I also got glasses. I feel like that's just like the smart person kind of accessory. And, you know, there are people out there who actually do need glasses too, but glasses, they're cool. As someone once said, they're very versatile. And then finally we have the hat here, right? The hat that keeps my head warm. Has a nice brim on front too, so I can keep the sun out of my eyes. And got a little bit of flair on it, you know, a few pins, right? You got the controller for the video games, the steering wheel for the race games, and a little card because, well, that's what I wield, right? I'm a card mage. But yeah, that's me. That's my model. Whew! And that, I think that has been everything I wanted to cover in the debut. Whew! Made it! Finally on the other side. Finally get to show off this model. Oh man. So eager to start using it in earnest. It's gonna be great. I hope you all have enjoyed the debut, and you know, if you were here for the debut, thank you so much for being here. But yeah, I'm gonna go and switch things over to Inscription now, so I'll be back in a little bit. Hang tight.